Greetings everybody. So let's see what we can do with our demonstration of proposition 3. So in proposition 3 we are told that we are given two line segments, one of them longer than the other. So let's say that our given long line segment is here, say that's AB, and that we are given another, well, let's change that one so that we know that it's one of our given ones. Let's change that color. And then we are given another shorter line segment. Let's say that one is over here at CD. And since that's also one of our given line segments, let's change that color so that we know it was one of our given ones. And let's make that one blue. So our job in proposition 3 is to find a point on this line segment AB that gives us a line segment between A and the point that we find, so that that line segment is congruent to our line segment CD. So how can we go about doing that? Well, our starting point really comes back to our proposition 2. Our proposition 2 said that we can construct a line segment that has A as an extremity, and a subdivision of that line segment gives us a line segment that's congruent to CD. So let's kind of review how that happened. Well, from proposition 2, we began by drawing an equilateral triangle with our line segment from AC. So how did we do that one? So that one goes all the way back to proposition 1. We just drew a couple of circles. So we said, all right, why does that work? So AC gives us there. We've got another line segment here between C and A, or a circle there, and that gives us a point of intersection up here at E. So we don't need those two circles anymore. And so proposition 1 said that we had this equilateral triangle AEH. And from there what we did was we drew a circle centered at C and passing through D. So our circle at C passing through D gave us a point of intersection at F. Then what we did was draw, so we don't need that circle now that we have our point F. So we got FC is congruent to CD, and then we drew another circle centered at E and passing through F, and that gave us a point of intersection over here on our line segment AE at G. And so what we knew was that EF was going to be congruent to EG. Because we had an equilateral triangle, EC was congruent to EA, and so if we remove those two pieces, our common notion told us that segment AG was going to be congruent to segment FC, and that was congruent to CD, and so AG was congruent to CD. So we've got this point G where our line segment AG is congruent to CD. So we don't nearly need that circle anymore, and we don't really need this triangle anymore, but we do need our line segment AE. So now we know that AG is congruent to CD, and so what happens now is that we need to transmit that point G to some point on the line segment that we were given, our line segment AB. Well, how do we do that? Because both of these line segments are originating from point A, we can use our postulate to say that, oh, I can draw a circle centered at A and passing through G. That was our postulate number 3. And that circle gives us a point of intersection here at H. And from our definition of a circle, we know that AG is going to be congruent to AH. And so what we have from that point is that now AG congruent to AH, AG congruent to CD, our transitivity property, our transitivity common notion, then tells us that AH is congruent to CD. And we have just found our point H that subdivides our given line segment and gets us our point so that our line segment AH is congruent to our other given line segment CD. And so we can get rid of that circle, we can get rid of that segment, and we don't need G anymore, we don't need F anymore, and we don't need E anymore. And whoops, let's get rid of our segment AC. We don't need that one. And so we are left with our new point H on our line segment AB, and this line segment AH is congruent to this line segment CD. I hope you've enjoyed this, and notice that we did all of this. We did not measure anything. All we did was draw some circles and find intersection points. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This was good. It's built on actually the last two propositions that we have done. So if you need to go back and watch the videos on those to refresh your memory on those, I invite you to do that. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.